Peter's one of the greatest depositors I've ever seen.
Look, Pete is the best of all time. The GOAT. He's definitely the GOAT.
Legend. Absolute legend.
Yo, what's up, DraftKings? It is the Deposit King. Welcome to my crib. Let me show you where the magic happens down here. Over here is my water heater. I just got the news that DraftKings will match my deposit up to $500. That's big. And I think what's most incredible about this is all of the outpouring of people who send me their deposits.
Heard the stories about him. See him at the top of leaderboards, quarter arcade.
The thing that strikes me most is how humble he is.
You know, what does the man who's accomplished everything do at this point is probably a question you want to ask. And, you know, the answer is, I just want to continue to be the best.
What's up, guys? I had to take that from the Deposit King on the deposit screen. Had to grab that from the old TikTok over there. I don't know why it stripped out your handle. I apologize about that.
Yeah, no, I wanted to, kind of figure out what's going on with you stealing my content and repurposing it for your own gain. Like, what's the deal with that, man?
I don't know why it took off the links there. That was weird.
Yeah. You're basically just a content aggregator, You're like that guy, Fat Jewish, that just steals other people's content and reposts it and tries to get all the clout. And that's pretty
Rex
bullshit,
Chapman. Matt's going all Rex Chapman on us here.
That's true. Rex Chapman is the new one, man. The shit he gets away with is wild.
I think I brought that up the other day in the chat and was just like, what the hell? Like, does this guy ever post any original content, or does he just like take other people's videos and get like viral?
No, he just goes, dogs, dude. I'm so here for it.
I'll be honest, he got me for a little while. Like before I caught on to what he was doing, I'm like a huge dog guy, and that's what he is too. So he's just stealing people's dog videos, and I'm like, oh my god, this video is fucking awesome. Like, and I know who Rex Chapman is. I'm like, this is amazing. And then like 2 weeks in, you're like, Jesus Christ, all this guy does is post 10 videos a day that he's ripping off from people and gives them absolutely zero credit.
Yeah, and Rovell has caught heat for that too in the past, where he does a thing where he steals it and then like he'll do like the littlest little hat tip at the end. It's just like, fucking retweet him, dude. It's not that hard.
Oh, Rovell.
Yeah, so I figured because you were on the show, it would be okay to post that video, and I wanted to surprise you with that special intro, and I felt it was appropriate because our show is called The Deposit Screen, and we have the Deposit King sitting with us. For our fourth episode.
I did see that name, the Deposit Screen, and I was like, this is getting real close to copyright infringement. But you guys skirted by. I don't think I'd have a case in court.
Well, our name is Add More Funds, and so we created that in jest a while back because everyone was taking themselves so seriously. Which is another reason we do the show, where we sit back, we have drinks, we just shoot the shit. Looks like chat's lighting up a little bit. So it looks like we had a little bit of love there with the intro production. He seems to think Patreon funds got put to good use, but that was that had nothing to do with Patreon funds. If anything, I'm gonna have to use some of those and send them to Pete for stealing the video there.
Yeah, the Patreon funds that Matt learned was TikTok to MP4 Google search.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll get shit on that later, but he's gonna be like, don't ever steal my shit again.
No, man, it's everything I put out there, man. If anyone wants to use it for their own, I mean, that means I did something right.
I got called Rex Chapman. Matt is Rex Chapman. My burner account has been found out.
Yeah.
Dogs, bruh. Dogs.
So, what are you guys drinking tonight?
Oh, I'll go first, since our Slack chat is so anti-pumpkin. I specifically brought, let's see if you can see it, see if I can make it work, a local pumpkin beer for this evening, because it's quite chilly here. We're definitely in the fall times, and this is my favorite local pumpkin.
How cold is it there right now?
So today it was shitty timing. Today it was a little bit warmer, but it's been mostly like below freezing.
And then it was like, was that really your back patio you tweeted out earlier, Pete?
Yeah, I was fucking shoveling snow like a peasant earlier. Why do you think I have this hat on? It's just it's the New England winter. It's already bearing down on us. And I've actually been very nervous about this whole drink share thing because I'm coming into the lion's den, dude. I mean, this guy is like, look at him, holding that snifter, like he's smelling it. He's just like, even the way he holds the glass is so fucking pretentious, dude. And I even pulled out one of my nice glasses. But do you want to know? You want to know how embarrassing what I'm drinking is? So my wife has gotten really into, Erik has met her. She's gotten really into making chocolates, and she's really good at it. She does all these gourmet truffles, bonbons, all this stuff. And I saw she bought a new thing of whiskey, and I was like, oh, that's so sweet. Did you buy that for me? I'm transitioning from tequila to whiskey now that it's getting cold. And she's like, no, this is for my chocolates. And so I'm drinking 1792 whiskey that she bought for her chocolates that I'm now stealing because I was like, fuck, I'm going on a whiskey stream. I need to have some whiskey to drink out of a cool glass.
1792 is not bad. They got some good stuff.
I always feel like
I passed the test.
Dude, trust me, I've known Matt for a long time, and I still, when we come on here, feel like, have I crossed into the peasantry whiskey this evening, or like, is this going to be acceptable? So like, one thing I have learned is that if I like mix it with something, I can like get away with, like, I was just drinking Buffalo Trace last weekend, which is not like shitty whiskey, but like to Matt, it's shitty whiskey.
It's
so
not
I'm like,
shitty. Like, come on now, come
mean.
on.
Dude,
I have plenty of Buffalo Trace. That's a good daily drinker.
I need to ask Matt a whiskey question. How basic bitch am I for doing apple cider and whiskey? Because I like that.
I mean, I'm a big proponent of drink it however you want and enjoy it. So like if you like it with the mixer or you like it with ice or however you like it, drink it. Like, who cares? And it doesn't matter if other people say it tastes like shit. If you like it, that's all that really matters.
This is generally how I like to drink my whiskey, but sometimes I do put apple cider in it.
Jesus Christ. Well, Daigle, I see Daigle's in chat drinking dirty martinis. So you didn't come on here drinking dirty martinis, so it could have been worse. Matt probably would have gave you shit for that one.
We got to do the time right now. So Daigle right now, it's I believe 9 p.m. Central time. He's getting Silva all lubed up for the Karma Sutra show on Establish the Run. This is his job. They go out for drinks, and then Silva comes on that show so hot, and I love it. And I told Daigle, you never can stop taking Silva out for drinks right before he goes on that show because it's taken it to a whole new level.
I'm sure all of us are aware of or sub to ETR, and there's probably a bunch of people in the chat that sub to ETR, but it was like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago that you could just absolutely tell Silva, and I love Evan. It's been a while since I talked to Evan, but Evan was like the nicest person to me ever. Like when I was like coming into the industry, like I will go to war for Evan Silva forever. But like it was like 3 weeks ago, and he's just dropping F-bomb after F-bomb on their show. And like chugging beers, and like you could tell how excited he was, and it was some of the best fantasy football content ever. Drunk Silva.
There was a line on that show, because I remember that episode where he was specifically or especially drunk, and they were talking about something about, I think, a line, like where shopping around for a line. And they were saying, I think they said the line wasn't as good on DraftKings or something. And so it was like, I don't know, man. I don't mind betting it there. There's lots of good people over there. Just feel like he was willing to eat the bad line because he knew the people at DraftKings. I just like, this is the best.
Well, speaking of that video clip, I think I might have that clip stolen as well. Let me go ahead and no, I'm just kidding.
You were about to blow my mind if you had that.
So that would have been some massive preparedness, considering we all jumped on here 5 minutes before 10 o'clock and didn't talk about anything ahead of time. So
apparently Silva is drinking martinis on their Friday night stream right now as we speak. So that's
no wonder no one comes and watches our shit. We choose to stream at the same time.
No, dude.
Well, if you want real football takes, you go over there. If you want to hang out and have fun, you come over here.
No, fuck those guys, dude. We'll go head to head with Levitan, Wiggins, and Silva. We go Matt, Bind 4, and Overzet. Let's go 3v3, 4 views, 4 rolls. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh man, someone asked, does that extend to flavored whiskey? And I think he's asking like drink whatever you like. First of all, flavored whiskey isn't really like. Are you talking about like Fireball or like the peanut butter shit?
Peanut butter. Yeah.
The Screwball or whatever. Now I will tell you that Screwball with like a cold brew coffee and some I don't even know if I'm going to pronounce this right, but like the creme de cacao shit. Tastes like a Reese's cup, man. It's absolutely delicious.
First time I had that was at a family Christmas. We don't really do like gifts much, but we do like gift exchanges and stuff. And somebody brought that, and so we whipped it out, and it got. I don't really remember that Christmas very well. we did a lot of peanut butter, Reese's cup whiskey drinks.
Dude, so you're getting married next weekend?
I will be shit faced at my own wedding a week from right now.
I can't wait to have you on the show next week at 10 o'clock. It's going to be
send
a blast.
me the link. Send me the link. I'll just at least pull.
I don't want your wife. I don't want your wife to murder me, so I will not be sending you a link.
I'll do it like in the pisser or something for like 30 seconds.
So what? Like I've seen her tweet, a few things about obviously how hard it is to plan a wedding during coronavirus. Like, what kind of arrangement did you guys settle on?
So we were originally supposed to get married in May, and we don't have like a ton of people, but there's going to be like a little over 100 people coming. Well, that wasn't going to work like in the heart of the pandemic. So we decided to push it back to next week. That's always been like our pushback date. And we had no idea how many people we were going to be able to invite. So we kind of like were waiting as long as we could. And basically we're able to settle on like 50 people. And then this past week, like a week ago, Illinois, in our area. So I always say I live in St. Louis, but I live right across the river in Illinois. In our area of Illinois.
Fraud. You're such a fraud.
That's okay. 618 represent Brian Hill season. He's from right next to me. They locked us back down. You can't have more than 25 people or 25% capacity. But our venue expanded during the pandemic because they weren't able to have anybody, so they did some additions and stuff. So we were able to still get 50 people. But we've been trying to we had no idea. Even a week ago, we weren't even really sure. Oh shit, do we have to cancel now? A week and a half out from the wedding, we had no idea. So you're just totally playing it by ear, week to week, month to month. It's been a total shit show.
How is
I can imagine.
Yeah, how have your stress levels been? Have you guys just been pretty zen about it, or has it been hard?
Almost nothing bothers me. I don't give a shit about anything. She's the opposite. She's like that.
She must be upstairs.
She's upstairs. Yeah. She's upstairs.
I don't give a shit about anything.
I don't really.
Man, I'm gonna need to crop that out and tweet that video later.
You thought defenses don't matter? I got you. Hold my beer. I don't give a shit about anything.
Okay. We'll probably get into a little bit of DFS stuff. I played fucking 2 Jets in my main team in this past week. Played Braxton fucking Berrios in thousands of dollars worth of DFS contests. I can assure you that I don't really care about anything just based off of that. But I don't really get worked up about anything. And she's she's not really a super worrier, but as a female trying to plan your first wedding, during all of this, she's taking it a little more serious than I am. I'm just it's fine. It's going to be fine. We'll figure it out.
I remember the day before our wedding, it was 50 degrees and cloudy, rainy. And my wife is great, our wedding's going to be freezing. It's outside on a rooftop. This is going to be the worst thing ever. And I was you need to relax. It is what it is. You can't control it. Why are you getting worked up over it? And then 75 degrees, perfect sun. Next day, on our way to the airport, fucking tornadoes touching down and shit. It was like, I don't know what happened, but there was like that perfect like landing strip of time to get married. And then before and after were just miserable. So we timed that one really well.
I think that's how we are. Knock on wood. Sorry, Pete.
Oh, no,
I think that's how we are. We're like in the midst of super cold right now, and then it's supposed to be like 70 a week from today. So like, you know, knock on wood, we might have got lucky.
The thing about weddings too is like it's the people involved, you know, the groom, the bride, you think about all the details infinitely more than everyone else. Like both my wife and I had examples of this where she was like freaking out about the flowers and stuff. And it's like, no one notices. No one cares except you. I had like one thing. Like I had looked at stuff and I had said to our florist, I was like, I do not want a big boutonniere. I was like, I've seen it like when the guys have like the big ass boutonnieres. That's the one thing I don't want. I don't want a big boutonniere. Get the biggest fucking boutonniere you've ever seen in my life. And you want to know how big of a boutonniere it was? Like our wedding director, the liaison at the venue, he comes and sees me, you know, we're coming the groomsmen. He goes, wow, that's a big boutonniere. The guy does 300 weddings a year and thought my boutonniere was abnormally large. It's like, that is not what I want to hear right now, man.
But you're right about that. Like, that's what our wedding planner and photographer, like, they just kept repeating to us, like, no one's going to know it wasn't exactly how you planned it because you're the only one that knows, like, in your mind. But, like, my wife, like, she had this, like, perfectly dream wedding. Our wedding was amazing. Our 6-year anniversary is next month. We still don't have our wedding photographs because she can't pick out which one she wants in a book. So, you know, I'm like, how perfect was it really? Like, was it too perfect that you can't like pick 100 photos and put them in a fucking book? Like,
we did engagement pictures twice. We did a second round of engagement pictures.
A coronavirus themed.
Yep.
Just you guys like
you're
on
like
your couch and bundle up.
Air hugging 6 feet apart.
We went out in like a like parkish area or whatever, and there's people out like having picnics with masks on and shit, and we're taking engagement pictures around them. It's wild times, man. It is wild times.
So I put that comment up a minute ago. Joseph said first wedding, she planned on another one. I was like, you know, thinking to myself, well, maybe with Eric's I don't give a shit attitude, she might need to start planning on the second one.
Yeah, I don't blame her. She's probably lining up all the fallback plans. I would if I were her.
Can I tell you, I remember the first time I saw her Twitter handle and I didn't realize it was her last name or whatever. And I was like, bro, your girl really wants to get married. She put wedding lists in her thing. And you were like, no, that's just her name. I was like, oh. I was like, well, that's not as funny. But
that's what people don't realize. Her last name is literally wedding. So like, you know, people like see her Twitter handle or whatever. Our buddy Matt knows Max. He was like, oh, I just always assumed she was like a wedding photographer or something, you know, based off of her Twitter handle, which makes sense. But that's been like this tiny little thing that always pops up. It's mostly humorous, but pops up during this process where like her like email address is like, you know, Alyssa Wedding whatever at Gmail, and people will be like, oh, you know, is this like what's your last name? She's like wedding. They're like, no, like what, like that's your like planning email. I don't know if you hear my dogs. They're about to throw down back here, I think.
Yeah. They're on Team Alyssa. They heard you don't give a shit about anything.
Clearly. I've said worse things, I'm sure. But like people don't get like that's her last name. So just like tiny little other thing of planning a wedding during a pandemic with a woman whose last name is Wedding.
I will say, Alyssa, like on Twitter, you know, the gold standard for DFS wives dunking on husbands is, of course, CSU Ram 88's, you know, wife. But I would say, Alyssa, if she upped up her volume a little bit more, I think she could get there. I think we just need a little bit more buy-in.
I think we just need. Why don't we just start retweeting her every time she dunks on Eric? We'll start retweeting her.
No,
and we'll feed into it. Let's feed into it.
No, I try to shield her. So I try to shield her from all the bad things that are out there in DFS Twitter land. Like I can handle it, like all the idiots and whatever. But like if you're not used to this space, like it's a toxic fucking world to be in. So like I'm not trying to get these crazy fuckers like in her mentions and shit. That sounds terrible.
Your dude played Braxton Berrios last week? What are you doing with your life?
Hey, so I missed the Twitter DM, but Daigle said he would jump on if we want to invite him.
Wow.
Send it to him.
Get Daigle on here, Mr. Martini Boy. I was gonna ask, so does she use what does she use Twitter for, or is it just to kind of keep tabs on you, or does she have other kind of communities she's tracking?
I mostly will plead the fifth on this because I can't say for sure, but she has some things that she follows. So like, yeah, Alyssa's Bachelorette takes on Claire that Hobbs posts. That is one she follows. She knows all the dirty deets about stuff like the Bachelorette, which I watch also. So she keeps me informed on all of that. And Hobbs, she also hates Claire just as much as I do.
So you know what?
The worst.
I talk a lot of shit about the Bachelor and Bachelorette, but I sit there and I will put up with it. Like I could easily get up and just go into the other room while my wife's watching it. But no, I'm sucked into this train wreck and then I get invested. I'm like, no, fuck this guy. Like, What the fuck is this guy doing? Like, he's not here for her. Like, I was like, but then I catch myself. I'm like, no one's here for her. Like, they're all here for the endorsement deals to be able to, do an advertisement for Hunt to Kill Her on Facebook and, that type of shit. I actually bought into that.
Yeah, I was going to say, or to launch a DFS career.
Or two, right? Like, I'm surprised we didn't.
Or a stock tout.
I caught one scene because my wife watches it too, but that scene where she was in the pool with that other dude and like they went in for the kiss and he got like really aggressive with the hands of being like, I want a mulligan on this kiss. And I'm like, that's not how kisses work. You don't get to force a kiss after it's full. And again, like Claire sucks at all this stuff, but I'm like, dude, take your fucking hand off her neck and let her walk away. Like, what the hell is going on right now?
Yeah, she's the worst. She's the absolute worst. But that was like the one scene where, there's been two. I guess there was another one where the guy lost his fucking mind. But yeah, like this dude backs away from a kiss from her, and then she didn't like it. Shocker, you didn't kiss the Bachelorette, so she backs away, and then he Undertakered her and like tried to fucking choke slam her.
I must have missed that part. I must have started zoning out, but
yeah, and her dogs are sitting there watching, like, what is going on right now? And Rex Chapman's like, the dogs, bro.
Bring it back to the dogs.
John Daigle.
What's up?
Oh, that's what's happening. I think I had your stream on in the background. Okay. I was waiting for y'all to stop talking, then I was going to jump in, but the stream kept going. What's up, boys? Thank you for the invite.
Good luck on waiting for one of us to stop talking.
I was watching the Kama Sutra stream, but I heard about the Friday night I don't give a shit about anything stream, and I just wanted to get involved here.
So, no, what did we say, guys? We said we were going to take listeners away. We were going head-to-head against them. We just pulled John Daigle, literally recording from the same house, and the magnetism of this show pulled him away.
Right upstairs,
literally a roommate of the star of the Friday Night Kama Sutra show would rather come over.
Complete accident, by the way. The show is happening right now, middle of the house, in the kitchen, as it always does. Complete accident that I'm still here, but nonetheless, yes, I'd rather be here. The Kama Sutra show has a replay. This does not. Probably.
That's true. Daigle, we need the real dirty deets on what is Silva's like setup. Like, what is he doing? What is he looking like during these streams? Like, what's his mindset other than not sober?
I will say he can get ready in like 30 seconds. There's that in life. He can show up. And if he doesn't need me to hook things up, he can do it correctly. And then he just starts, man. Like, it's amazing. Sometimes he'll even be a couple minutes late. And then, like, Levitan pops on a question really quick. And he just goes 7th string offensive line. He remembers all the college stats. Like, he truly is a working professional. Like I need time to amp myself up. I drink like tea in the afternoon. I need an hour to get prepped with notes, and then I'll still like have to refer to them sometimes. But he just goes. It actually is quite impressive.
Silva's like, shotgun beer. Rashad Higgins was a Bolitnikoff finalist in 2016. Love his PPR upside this week.
We did a podcast, Splash Play Pod, with Peter Overzet and Chris Spags last night. And then he heard me talking about him in the middle of when I went downstairs, because we both like watched TV or whatever downstairs. Last night it was Dunkirk we watched together. And then he asked me, he's like, Diggle, what'd you say about me? And I said, I told him about that one stream, which was the stream coincidentally, or not so coincidentally, y'all were talking about. And he showed up quite lit and glassy-eyed. And I said, I told him that one time I texted Levitan while we were picking up cigarettes from CVS. And I said, hey, Silva, I'm just going to let you know, not my fault, but he's coming in hot right now. And Levitan goes, Dangle, what the fuck, man? And then, Silva showed up and still did his thing.
He still crushed it. You could tell, you can obviously tell. You could tell that he'd been having fun, but he was still the GOAT, Evan Silva. That was great.
I think it actually is. He would not believe me, but I think it's really good that he has become more, in my opinion, personable this year. Like he's peeled back the onion and been more friendly. And maybe that's because he sees like how not serious, how much I don't give a shit about anything and the way I take everything. But you can do analysis, but then also just have fun in life. Life is fun. We do this thing for 79 years on average, and then we go away forever. Like, just have fun. It's okay, man.
I like your assertion, Daigle, that Silva has learned so much from you and has changed.
I would like to think he's learned to laugh from me. How about that?
I taught Silva how to laugh, John Daigle.
Far-fetched.
For my personal life, I'm going to take the under on the 79 years.
Yeah,
I don't think I'll make it to 79. If I make it to 70, I'll consider it life well spent.
Well, that's the average. Clearly, teams underperform. And so I'm right there with you. I'm the Bears of life. Like I am clearly going under this thing. For sure. I'm failing in the long term.
Yeah. Like I look outside, it's all blue skies, one cloud. I'm like, it might rain. I should probably not go exercise.
Roth is projecting a lot of wind for when we clear 70 years old. It's not a great game environment.
I do feel bad though, because I really do have dirty martini. There's the olives in there.
And a red solo cup nonetheless.
Silva. Okay. So
you guys were playing beer pong late last night. You grabbed the solo cup.
No, I shouldn't say this either. This does not lead this recording, but he also, until I got here, he used to throw away dishes rather than clean them. So I'm just letting you know, I'm the one cooking and cleaning dishes. And so if they're not clean dishes, it's because they're literally in the washer as the show is going on. And these are the cups we have right now. So
that's like one time in college, I had the epiphany. I was like, what if I just always got all my stuff dry cleaned and never had to do laundry?
No.
It's just like, so what if I just threw away dishes?
It's like that meme with the guy pointing to his head. It's like, you don't have to clean them if you just throw them away.
I mean, I'm a big fan of when I'll get like takeout pizza from like a nice place, and I'm like, can I get some plates? And they're like, how many do you want? I was like 8 or 10. I don't know, because I'm gonna use them for dinner, lunch, and breakfast like the next few days. Like, give me as many plates as you want to give me. I'm paying $30 for a pizza, so give me a whole pack. I don't care.
Do you guys feel? I feel like I do. Pre-corona, you're just out more. You're going out to eat. You're doing meal. I was eating, my meals in the office and stuff. And now I feel like I do the dishwasher every day and a half because you're just eating all of your meals at home.
So we do the meal kit from, I can't remember which one, like Hello Chef or not Hello Fresh, Green
Hello
Chef.
Kitty. Okay.
Green Chef. And so it's like, oh, you need a saute pan. Oh, also bring out a saucepan and then also get out a baking sheet. It's like, what the fuck? Like I'm going to have to do dishes like an entire load every time I want to cook a meal. It gets a little obnoxious, but we have I cook in my house. And so we have a rule, like if whoever cooks, the other person does the dishes. And so I'm like, whatever, I don't care. But what I hate is my wife will come up behind me and like start cleaning before I'm done. I'm like, where's my fucking knife? And she's like, oh, I thought you were done with that. I was like, well, why did you think I was done with it? I was like, I haven't even like there's all these ingredients on the counter. And she was like, I don't know. It just looked like you were done because you weren't using it. I was like, yeah, because I was, preparing something else over here. And so like, I'm like, you can't come in until like the meal's almost done. Then you can start picking up, but just a quick like, hey, are you still using this would go a long way.
Yeah. Matt's like, go pick out some wedding photos, God damn it.
She emailed our photographer actually the other month because she was trying to get it like taken care of. And she was like, Kelly hasn't responded to me. I was like, she probably doesn't remember who the fuck you are.
The good thing about the Silva household is that I'll never have to worry about him sneaking up to clean the dishes. So,
that's what I was just gonna ask. You could tell that hit home with Daigle. Matt was like, she sneaks up behind me and starts doing the dishes before he done. And Daigle goes, ooh.
That'd be a blessing. Ooh. That'd be a blessing if those things didn't stay there another 4 days afterwards. Yeah.
You guys are basically like a 2-man college frat house.
We literally are a sitcom right now. Yeah. And like everyone, what's funny is that everyone like will mention me and like tweet at me and just asking like if I need it, like if I'm a poor and just like need a home to stay, like offering me stuff. It's like, bro, like the idea was literally me traveling the country, going from mountain to mountain, taking advantage of being isolated. And I ended up with Silva for 2 months and here we are right now.
You can just go be a lineup enter for Rufus. Rufus is not a poor.
Dude, how pathetic is DFS Twitter? By the way, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just want to make sure that you're all right. Will you blink 3 times if you're not being held hostage by Silva against your will right now?
Is he behind me? No, I have the door closed. So did the show just end?
No.
I just wanted to make sure.
He may sneak up. He actually is pretty good. So a lot of times we record like the Roto Football podcast. His biggest thing is the ice machine. Like he doesn't understand the mic is right here. And so he'll just walk in and use the ice machine mid-show. And Josh Norris will just look at me angry. It's like, bro, like, what do you want me to do? That's not my problem. And
yeah, but Josh has the train, right?
Josh has the train in Connecticut, yeah. Right next to the station, which always interrupts every show.
I want to imagine that Silva's like filling up an ice bath and just doing like 10 trips back and forth from the ice machine to the
mason jar. It's the mason jar is what he fills up. Yeah. And then for Overzet show, he'll actually no, you're good. Anytime I record with Overzet, which has been 2 or 3 times this year, that's the one he likes interrupting. Like he will purposely get in the way just to tell his boys hi.
Imagine being like, the head of Roto World, right? And you got to go present like an end of the year pitch to NBC about why NBC should stick with Roto World and invest funds. They're like, here's like our best content, and it's Daigle and Norris doing a waiver wire show or whatever. Mm-hmm. And every 30 seconds, there's fucking Silva coming in and giving Daigle shit and filling up drinks and ice machines, and then. Okay, we get through that, and then there's Josh, and he has to stop every 30 seconds because there's a loud ass. It sounds like he's in the subway, recording the podcast. They're like, Jesus, this is what we're.
This sounds like a modern day Seinfeld pitch.
Right, yeah. Exactly.
The Roto World Seinfeld episode.
I've been on a couple, like I do those Twitch streams on Tuesday nights, and I've been on a couple where he'll literally just like deliver me pizza in the middle of them. He'll like walk in, wave to the camera, bring me a pizza, because whoever leaves for the afternoon, the rule is we typically bring each other back dinner or lunch unless I cook, because I cook like 3 or 4 times a week for us. And so yeah, we have a little thing going here. We have a little pattern going here that we both are feeding off well, I gotta be honest.
Sounds like the pattern is you bringing Silva food.
Sometimes, though, he wakes up early. Sometimes. And that's when I walk downstairs to eggs and pancakes. That's a good day, boys. Whatever that is.
Daigle, I think actually all of you guys have won a sample from me on the whiskey tout thing, right? Mm-hmm. Like I've sent a sample to all of you at some point, I think. I can't even remember what I sent you. I've sent out hundreds of those samples at this point, but
I cannot remember either. It was definitely a limited single batch, though. I wish I could remember the name. I may have the jar. I carried like 2 boxes with me in my car. I think one of them's actually here. I think it's over there, but yeah, clearly already gone, and I appreciate it, by the way. That's what I think. Eric, you were the one who actually tweeted about it. And I was like, wait, like this guy is not only promoting his product, and I always support entrepreneurs, but also just giving away whiskey. I support that every day. That's not hard. So yeah, I do appreciate you sending that along, man. I did win one, yes.
I keep waiting for you to send me a bill in the mail. You sent me that TikTok elixir, and I'm like, it really it rocketed me to stardom. So
Your fee was me stealing your content for tonight's intro.
yeah, it's it was a good trade-off. Well, I can continue. How about you keep sending me whiskey samples and I'll allow you to keep reposting my old TikToks.
I think we can work that out. Wait, I think somebody's in the wrong YouTube stream.
He's in Grinders Live.
Oh, geez.
Somebody thinks they're on ETR right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel bad for the people that are like, okay, 2 of these guys do stuff on Roto Grinders, 1 does stuff on Roto World. This other guy, I think, kind of has a fantasy site. Can I get some fucking advice? Or you guys gonna talk about the Bachelor and their college dorm that they?
I mean, this is what we're doing right now is more fun, right? Like, if y'all were talking about football or DFS, I wouldn't have jumped. I didn't even want to jump on. But I heard y'all just shooting the shit, and I was like, okay, I want to be on here just talking and having fun with everyone.
So it's funny. We had a show where we shot the shit. It was good. Then we had Matt on, who's really good at college football, and we talked a lot about college football stuff. And that show did the worst in terms of likes. It's like, that's just not our crowd. We just gotta like drink and bullshit. Like that's what the show's about. And I think that's how we got to keep it. Like it has been spoken, and that is what we will do. So
what did I miss about this $30 pizza people are obsessed with?
So
yeah, I don't get it either.
Earlier I mentioned that like I order a pizza from this local place and it comes out to be like $30. I mean, I'm getting
where are you at?
I'm in Gainesville, Florida.
Gainesville, Florida. Okay.
Yeah, pizza in Gainesville it's expensive from my experience.
I can't tell if you're being a smartass or not. I can't tell at all.
Well, it's not like we're not getting it from like Papa John's or like any franchise. It's like it's a local owned restaurant.
It's a farm to table pizza.
Did you just flex with Gainesville?
Gainesville farm to table.
Whoa, we're not getting chained. This is local Gainesville pizza.
Listen, I will put up Paisanos in our Satchel's place with, well, maybe not like up there in Illinois, but
pizza in New York is better than Illinois. Don't tell anybody I said that, but yeah.
It is.
This is what Matt does in Gainesville, Florida. He hires this like small little Italian man who comes into his backyard. He hand builds a wood fire pizza oven, makes the pizza for him, and then charges him $30 for it. That's why it's so expensive.
How'd you know I had a backyard brick oven?
Because I just assumed that's the only way a pizza could cost $30.
Gainesville, the Italy of the West.
I think I paid like $30 for an extra large from Luminati's here for us. And then also, I don't know if anyone's had Mulberry in LA. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that, but that is it's like a couple guys from the Bronx who went there and made a giant slice pizza. That also cost about $30. But then again, everything in LA costs $30. So.
How do you like Chicago? Where are you from, Daigle?
I'm from it's a little town 45 minutes south of Dallas, actually, called Ennis, Texas. My parents were supposed to retire in Alaska, and then the first nephew was born from my sister, and they decided to buy a house next to my sister and live there forever. So I vacation in little small town Texas now, and I go back there about twice a year, off season.
Off season, yeah. What's your plans? Do you have any plans after this football season? You're just winging it.
Make it.
Survive.
He's trying to move into the master bedroom in Silva's house.
What's funny is I am actually sleeping like, okay, so he has one bed frame made in the entire house, and I'm on it. Like, he's not the one sleeping on it. He sleeps on the floor. He sleeps on the mattress on the floor downstairs.
You know the episode
Are you guys
of The
gonna
Office?
go head to toe?
You know The Office, the dinner party episode with Michael with like the footrest at the end of the bed
Yeah.
where he sleeps with Jan? That's how I imagine Silva, like on a little footrest of Silva's king-size bed.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. And then at night he'll be like, Daigle, time to get some sleep. It's like 1:30 in the morning. He'll just like shut his computer off and then lay in bed. I'm still like down there. And so I walk around the house, turn off the lights, lock the doors, go upstairs to the actual bed frame and like the nicer bed. For some reason, he gave it to me, so that's what it is.
This is like Step Brothers for fantasy football.
It really, truly is. And sometimes we do activities Honestly, Saturday morning, tomorrow, we play soccer at 11 a.m. every Saturday.
What? Really?
Because like some of the 4for4 guys are here, and then they bring their friends, and so it's like 12 or 13 people, so it's 5-on-5. I played goalie, humble brag, 14 years ago. Used to be athletic, so yeah, that's what we do on Saturdays.
I bet Silva just absolutely bodies some fools on the pitch.
Dude. Okay, so his thing is, I get so pissed off. He doesn't know what offsides is, and like you can't tell him what it is. So he hangs out at the corner of the goal box. And
he's a fucking cherry picker.
Oh yeah, and like, but still, like at the end of the day, he'll be like, "Yeah, who had 4 goals today?" Yeah, because he sat back there. Because you were back there the entire time in the goal box.
Silva is a flat track bully on the intramural soccer pitch.
And like everyone else just chips it over the defense to him because he's so big. Like, God, this is unfair, man. Unfair.
Oh man. This is some behind the scenes footage you won't see anywhere else, folks.
Pay for ETR if you want football. Come get the good stuff.
Yep. There's a lot of great places to get good football content. If you want to hear about how big of fucking idiots we all are in real life, you can come hang out.
Daigle, I bet you could start like a Patreon of just like Silva inside stories where it's just like you telling like, so Silva told me what his dream was last night, and then you're just posting it in a blog. And everyone's just like lapping it up.
I mean, there is just so much of it, man. Like when I cook dinner, I make 3 plates, one for me for dinner, one for him for dinner, and then one for 3 a.m. when he wakes up. that is literally the routine. Like I know his patterns. He knows mine as well, to be honest. But like I know his patterns, like exactly how the beast feeds every single time.
Are you putting toothpaste on his toothbrush too before he goes to bed?
No.
What does Blair think of all of this?
She's the most like wonderful, like, and so that's the thing. People don't know that he has a daughter that's here half the time. And like she's so kind. Like she just shows up, and it doesn't matter if she's seen me like 5 seconds before or just like the first time for the day. She'll walk in and be like, "Hi, Daigle," and just run past me and just go do her thing. And then she comes back and immediately says, "Hi, Daigle," and just keeps on going upstairs. I was like, Blair, you don't have to tell me hi every time you see me, you know.
I think the key information is she's running past you every time.
That's probably the good information. Yeah, definitely. No, everything's good. The neighbors are wonderful. The neighbors have us over all the time. They love me. Like the neighbors love me.
So do you like? Is it like are they like a couple? Do you guys like have double dates?
It is a Spanish family. One of them. So they're like 6 people that live in a like a 3 or 4 bedroom home. It's pretty big. And so they have like barbecues or whatever, and they will invite us over just to go hang out. He gets really intense and plays beer pong at them. But I usually drink on wine. And then his other neighbor.
Not dirty martinis from red Solo cups?
Sometimes. It just depends what he's feeling. Whatever he brings back on Friday nights, that's what we make. So, no, okay, so side story though. I was walking out to this barbecue the other day, and he goes like, "Yeah, that's the weeds. Like, don't worry about them." And in like, next to the garage, and it's like this beautiful lush green patch. I was like, "Oh, that's a lot of weeds." And like I look at it and pick it really quick, and it's just like a batch of fresh mint. He has fresh herbs outside, and he was gonna mow them over. I was like, "Silva, you are not touching this shit." Like we were making cocktails, we were making food, we were making all kinds of special stuff with this. So I picked it for winter, and now we have fresh herbs at the house for dinner. So yeah.
So wait, he didn't know it was mint? Like I'm confused. Like I don't understand. Like how did it get there?
How is that possible?
I have no idea how it got there, to be honest. I'm assuming the neighbors grew it in that area, and he just thought it was weeds, which is fine. Not a lot of people have seen live mint before, but like you smell it, and it's amazing. It's delicious. So I have already picked it for winter. Other neighbor though, Italian Joe, he is old school Italian guy who gets pissed off when I tell him I make pasta. He's like, "You never made real pasta before." And so I was invited over one night. I had like rum with him, some kind of Italian rum. And then he taught me how to make an old Italian pasta sauce, which I use now for us. So
I just imagine like a Home Improvement Mr. Wilson situation where this guy's trying to sell Silva on Ben DiNucci as a spot start this week in Sunday Night Football. This man, he's a great. You got to play him.
We walk outside sometimes, like to go to breakfast to the car, and like Silva peeks behind the corner. He's like, dude, Joe's there. I don't feel like talking today. And he's like, he puts his hoodie on, just walks really fast.
So good.
Yeah, that's literally everyday life. That's what you're missing.
That's what the very first time I met Silva was. It's been maybe 5 years or so at the Roto Grinders party. I think pretty much everybody here has probably been, the Super Bowl party. Sorry, my dog might be making an appearance here. I think he wants to get on screen.
Oh yeah.
I think we saw your future wife like pop her head in the doorway there a few seconds ago.
Yeah, she's over here, so don't say anything about her. So first time I met Silva,
you guys are gonna have a beautiful wedding.
I have fucking headphones.
Eric cares about Eric cares about everything.
She can't hear you guys.
You just told us not to say anything.
Just in case.
If she decides to go back and watch this would be a total waste of an hour of her time. She does know who Evan is, though. We sat and had, so the very first time I met him, Roto Grinders party, I was like trying to kind of like get into this space, and I had a startup, which is how Matt and I met, and I just like cold DM'd Evan on Twitter, and he like responded and like called me like right away, and we had a fun, like he is like the nicest guy ever. Mm-hmm. We ended up having like a relationship ever since then, because he was like interested in the idea that I had. And then we like met in person at the Roto Grinders party. We sat there and shot the shit for God knows how long. Like I said, super nice guy. Next time I see him, maybe an hour or two after we had talked at the party, he's over playing foosball, hammered drunk.
Wait,
drunkest guy at the bar.
Can I confirm this is the draft live final?
Correct.
In November from like 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, I was there, and I remember this story. And I want to hear your version, because then I have the follow-up on what happened the next day.
So you got it. I don't remember like most of the specifics. So somebody else that was there would have better. But like I just remember walking by, and Silva is whooping everybody's ass at foosball, and is like not putting sentences together, but screaming very, very loudly and like talking shit to everybody. And just absolutely losing his mind. And like literally 30 minutes before, an hour before, he was like the gentle giant, like having a conversation with us, like in one of the booths at that bar. And I was just like, oh, that's Seven Silva, huh? I'm learning a lot here.
So here's the color on that. So one of the heated matches was against Osimo, and I didn't even know Osimo at the time. And so then so they had like because the draft, you did an actual live draft for that final. So that was the Saturday night. And then the Sunday they had a party at a bar, to sweat the games. And so we get there, right when it's opening, an hour before kickoff, and we're having, drinks with Silva and stuff. And he sees Osimo across the bar. And again, I didn't even know Osimo at the time. And Silva goes, hang on, guys, I need to go apologize. And Silva walks over to go to apologize to Osimo, because he apparently just had berated him and yelled at him in this foosball game that Eric was describing. So we see Silva sulk over there, and Osimo is just like, what's going on? And you just see, so I'm so sorry, man. I don't know what I said to you last night, but I'm really sorry about it. So whatever, I don't know what went down in that foosball game, but it sounded intense.
It's the same thing that happens at the neighbors' foosball games, or the neighbors' beer pong games as well. Yeah, it gets a little rowdy. That's why no one should stay into the path of ETR, because when it comes to competition, you may get crushed.
It's no joke. So we were at that. I'm sitting next to Evan, and he brought his brother Drew at that the Sunday, the like actual watching football event. And God damn it, I can't remember who they were playing, but I played Larry Fitz. This is 4 years ago. Larry Fitz on was it with Carson Palmer or with some other? Anyway, not the point. But you bet your ass that Silva played Larry Fitz and like touted the shit out of it. He was probably the cover boy of matchups that day. And I'm sitting next to Evan, having just met him, and I'm like all in on Larry Fitz in DFS, and he catches a touchdown, and I like cheer, and Silva jumped up, and we like.
I remember that. I remember the other game. I remember that was also when the Raiders played the Patriots in New England, and Rex Burkhead was getting a spot start because Silva was big on Rex Burkhead, and everyone's like, "Dude, you running 150? You fucking jam Rex Burkhead at 4,300. You don't even think about it." And then that game just flopped. It had like a 56 over under and just bombed.
Oh,
the
man.
good old days.
Yeah, that's the guy. That's the man behind the mask, pretty much. Like, he's the nicest individual ever. But when he gets excited, it can get very intense. Week 1, as everyone knows, it was tweeted out by the account, despite what he wanted. Had his whole line about DeAndre Hopkins and not being a good fantasy analyst. If you fade him, if
you have DeAndre in your top 5, you have a bad prospect.
Dude, the 6th catch that Hopkins made. I mean, how far his phone flew across the room, and I'm sitting right next to him downstairs in the basement, and it's just like launches across the room, across my face. It's like, oh, okay, like that's the Silva, that's intense. And he just looks at the TV and goes, "Calm down!" And of course, Hopkins. What did he finish with week 1? Like 15 catches or something stupid like that?
Yep.
Yeah. Even though I really don't blame him for that fade.
Yeah, his show, I did see Levitan tweet, their show is over, so you got to be quiet. Silva's now listening to what you're saying.
I'm gonna be the YouTube host right here and go ahead and ask everyone who's listening to give a like and subscribe just to keep this going. We don't ask for much.
Come on, Matt. Smash the subscribe button. Hit the like. You want us to add more funds? You need to add more likes.
There we go. I'm totally. That's going to be the new intro from now on. I'm going to take that audio and put that and send that to somebody to mix it up for like a little audio intro.
It wouldn't be the first time you stole my stuff. So yeah. Just kidding.
It wouldn't be the first time in the last hour.
I don't think I'm ever going to hear the end of it. I probably should have been like, "Hey man, are you cool if I do this?" But I was like last minute, just like Googling TikTok to MB4.
Are you still grinding the TikToks? Because you would like pop up every 2 weeks with a really funny one. I haven't been on there in a while.
I don't really post much content on TikTok, but I do a lot of like now my feed is so optimized in the algorithm. The TikTok algorithm is fucking legit. It's really good.
How does it differ from, like, let's say, an Instagram algorithm?
I don't know, dude, but all of a sudden, like, I am getting like
so sharp.
I'm getting marketing fucking TikTok videos in my feed and like stuff that I'm actually interested in with like DIY stuff. And then occasionally I'll get like the thirsty thought, like twerking across my page. But I think that's just because it's performing so well in everyone's feed. So they're just like, oh, let's throw the slutty girl in front of them. My wife's like, why are you watching this girl do squats? I was like, I wasn't. I was looking up at the TV and like, what the fuck?
The twerking, like I went on there a couple weeks ago and just did a scroll sesh. And maybe the algorithm hadn't caught up to my likes, but it was like 90% 22-year-old girls twerking. I didn't hate it, but I was like, maybe I need to be on here liking things that I like. So it's not this.
Yeah. So I think like if you're on TikTok, make sure you like the content that you want to see more of. And it starts showing up in your feed a lot more. They're pretty good at that.
So,
but go ahead.
I thought, so you can explain what you do on there, because I always thought, one, I've never downloaded the app. So I'm really ignorant. I don't know. Two, isn't it just people singing and dancing? I thought that's all it was. Literally.
Bless your heart. Man, you're like my dad here.
Yeah.
He's like when Twitter first started, isn't it just people talking about what they ate for breakfast on there?
If it's a business opportunity, I feel like I need to know about it. But just like, every video I saw, I was like, why would I ever want to see that?
It was smash cut to 2 weeks from now when Daigle's doing my top 5 waiver ads and twerking to it.
I do think there is some marketing opportunity on TikTok. If you like it, like with every social media platform, I feel like, there's unique, opportunities. So I think there's certainly opportunities for the fantasy football community. I see some bad ones on there, but like even fantasy football stuff is popping up in my TikTok feed like more frequently. And it's about being consistent, and I'm not consistent enough with video content. I'm not creative enough to come up with shit. So it's like, I'll see an idea and like rip it off and like use the sound, where Pete's over here making original content. And I'm just like slicing and dicing used sounds that are popular and showing my dog and shit to get likes. And there's no real purpose. I don't have an aim on TikTok other than for entertainment, but I do think there is opportunity to promote a brand or do stuff. So I will not like your videos if you start twerking with your top 5 waiver wire picks, though, Daigle.
I will.
Matt is right. I would say of all the social media platforms, if you want just your best chance at organic growth, TikTok is by far the most. Like, the Instagram feed is now so efficient. There's like hardly any organic growth on there, but TikTok, but Matt said it, you have to be consistent. And I just bailed, but like, you see the people who ran up their accounts, and if you scroll back, I mean, they're literally posting 3 to 4 times a day on there. So if you have that consistency and you have a niche, like, it honestly isn't that hard if you're just vaguely talented or creative. But Matt and I ran into the same problem where you quickly lose steam and energy for doing stuff on there.
Well, it's like the TikTok algorithm too. It's like, oh shit, likes, and then it like plateaus and like just falls off a cliff, and you're like, what the fuck happened? I was getting so many likes and comments.
Well, I saw a theory, and I was like going down this rabbit hole back when I was doing more TikToks, to where they were saying that the TikTok algorithm heavily weights your first few posts as giving you more likes to get you incentivized to post more. So they throw it in people's feeds, and you're like, holy shit, I'm doing well on here. I'll keep doing it. So you're chasing the dragon. And that's like part of the algorithm. And like, I kind of buy it, because like you said, that algo is so fucking good.
It is.
Blender asked the same thing I was going to ask. Is the counselor on TikTok doing fantasy football?
So this is the counselor's TikTok strat. So he uses the TikTok as the app to create his content that he then reposts on Instagram, which is what I was using. I was using TikTok, using the sounds and the filters, and then you just repost it on Twitter. My shit would bomb on TikTok, and then it would do well on Twitter. And Counselor does the same thing. He records on Instagram TikTok, and then reposts on Instagram.
And then my question personally is, do we not support the counselor anymore since he was perhaps canceled for cheering for injuries? Or how are we handling that? Because I don't know.
Are you living under a rock? He's been like cheering for injuries for 4.5
That's what I'm saying.
years.
Like, has he, oh, really? Okay. I mean, I've never seen him dance like he did with the injury a couple weeks ago. He literally like filmed himself green screen in front of an injury, dancing and like cheering the guy. I was like, is he canceled now? What's going on here?
This is the funny thing about the counselor, and I've been meaning to tweet or like do something about this, but if you've followed his patterns over the years like me, in Counselor's mind, and I kid you not, every backfield should be one running back. Okay. One single running back. If he hears even a rumor of another running back getting signed, a guy fucking called up from the practice squad, he loses his shit. He's like, Jonathan Taylor, Naheem Hines should be executed. It should be Jonathan Taylor is the only man in this backfield. I mean, that guy hates a running back by committee more than anyone I know.
So it looks like we're approaching our 2-minute warning here. And I don't know if we need to call in our sponsor, Buffalo Wild Wings, and go to overtime or not. But we certainly can if we want to keep this going, or we can just call it a night and reconvene next week live from Erik's wedding.
I'm personally good. I'm just chilling, but you guys do your thing.
I got nowhere to be, and I got plenty of drinks to drink, so it doesn't matter to me. Whatever we want to do. Daigle can go get Silva and have some more fancy drinks.
But I guarantee you, he's looking for a dirty martini right now.
Yeah,
I guarantee it.
You need to make the martini for now, and then the one for 3 a.m. as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, it is Friday though. Like Friday nights are long night.
Does he wake up? So to Pete's point about you make 2 meals. Does he wake up and does there need to be like a beer or a shot ready also next to like the meatloaf that you made?
Oh no. That's just typical like Friday night, Saturday night stuff. Well, weeknight with me as well. I join in on that. Although I am more of a wine, tequila, preferably mezcal, and whiskey person. Clearly dirty martinis tonight, but it varies. Lots of wine midweek. But no, for him, it's just about the food. It's just about he has this like consistent. He wakes up in the middle of the night, whereas I'm just passed out until the alarm goes off, and I don't go to bed. I'm usually like a 1 or 1:30 kind of person, but still like at 7:30, 8 o'clock, I'm usually up by then.
You sleep all the way. You sleep all the way through. God bless you. I wish I could do that.
He has a nice bed frame. Pretty easy to sleep in the best bed in the house.
You have the finest luxuries.
Yeah,
sleeping accommodation.
The best bed in the house. Even though I told him to get his ass up here, he won't do it.
All right. Well, we're approaching the hour mark, and I just want to thank everyone for jumping on. Thanks, Pete, and thanks for jumping on, John. Last minute here. We'll get better planning in place for sure for guests and whatnot. But I think it's kind of fun being spontaneous and running shit last
Did
minute.
Matt just say, we had Peter and Daigle on, but we'll do better. We'll get better guests in
No.
next time.
I said we'll do better at planning.
That's what he said.
I said we'll do
I'm
better
the
at
asshole
planning.
here because like Pete was here and I was just like, hey, not good enough. Get Daigle on. Like, I was a jerk here. I genuinely though, thanks for having me. Like I literally just wanted to jump on and talk with friends. This is the
Man,
shit
you
this is what
cannot
I love.
slide anything past Pete though. Like you say something with like just like the least bit of like, yeah, wait a second, let me examine that statement just a moment.
It goes back to what we were talking about with TikTok. Like Pete truly is a comedian. He derives his ideas. He hyperbolizes everything that happens naturally in life, and that's where he gets his comedy from. And it makes me so angry because I'll see him tweet something and be like, "God damn it, that's the funniest shit," and I should have thought of that. But I never will because I'm not Pete. I don't have his brain.
I like how Daigle, says some nice thing. And Matt's take was like, Pete is this motherfucking semantic hunting fucking asshole. I'm trying to wrap up this show.
There he is.
He just literally did it. You
He
literally just did what he. Yeah.
So should I end it with Pete's TikTok again? Like, is that how we should start ending the show?
Please no.
I think we end it with Matt twerking, and then you can repost this on your TikTok.
Wedding
All right,
confetti something.
There we
All
go.
right, thanks for tuning in. As Pete said, smash the subscribe button, add more likes so we can add more funds. Thanks, guys.
Congrats, Eric.